This exam application tutorial is on the topic of nuclear power. The question for 6 marks reads, compare the use of fusion and fission reactors for generating electricity. So you have to say, what is nuclear fission? What is nuclear fusion? What are the advantages and disadvantages of each? Firstly, nuclear fission involves the splitting of uranium-235 nuclei. You can write that. To produce 2 daughter nuclei and thermal energy. So that's how it works. This summarizes nuclear fission. So you can see that here. Neutrons bombarding into uranium nuclei, they become unstable, they split and release thermal energy. So these are the smaller daughter nuclei resulting from the uranium nucleus splitting, and here's the thermal energy. You also get neutrons which basically fire outwards as well and continue the reaction, causing a chain reaction, but you don't need to go into that level of detail here. Nuclear fusion involves hydrogen nuclei colliding together, and what happens when they collide together is they produce helium nuclei and thermal energy as well. So we can see this is a hydrogen nucleus here and a different hydrogen nucleus here, and what happens as they collide, we can see that we produce helium. So now let's look at the advantages and disadvantages. Nuclear fission can be controlled easily using control rods and a moderator. So here we can see we've got a fluid surrounding our uranium fuel rods. These represent our uranium fuel rods, and we can see that that can control the speed of the bombarding neutron. Also, we can lower and raise control rods, as you can see here, to absorb the neutrons and prevent a fission reaction. It's very handy to control such reactions. However, fusion reactors release more energy for the same mass of fuel, but they require extremely high temperatures and pressures. So if you remember that the nuclei are positively charged, and so when they go near each other, they'll want to repel each other. So you need very high temperatures and pressures to basically force them to fuse together. They also require a powerful magnetic field to contain the reaction. I don't need to say the same sort of thing for nuclear fission, because by saying this one requires high temperatures and pressures, it implies the other one does not. By saying this one requires a magnetic field, I am implying the other one does not. You don't have to write necessarily every single sentence down to get full marks, but this gives you a complete answer.